If you have ever listened to Own Your Choices, Own Your Life, this is a moment that I do not take lightly. This podcast started with one voice, one mic, and a phone, and the decision to share stories and help people to recognize that they were not alone in their own journeys. Now we are very close to celebrating 1,000 episodes with a live in-person podcast event. If this show has ever shifted your thinking, helped you find your voice, reminded you of what is possible, this room, this live event is for you. It is intimate. It is small. It is March 21st in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario. If you are nearby, we would love to have you there. I can't wait to celebrate with you. Welcome to the Own Your Choices, Own Your Life podcast. I know you are here wanting to change and rewrite your story. You are desiring to step into the impact that you know you are here to create. I am here to guide you with the proven tools and strategies used by myself and our speakers to support you in taking radical responsibility in your life and learning how to own your choices to change your story. My name is Marsha Van Weinsberg. I am a storytelling business coach, master NLP trainer, speaker, podcaster, and 7 times published author. My clients have found freedom and purpose from overcoming their shame stories and learning how to share them with the world. I am so grateful you are here. Let's get started. Welcome back to the show. We are so close to recording live, episode 1000. And I'm excited because I'm really diving into, just thinking deeper, right? Like really looking at how did we get here? And I heard a podcast this morning that really landed for me. And I love Ed Milet. Ed Milet to me is somebody that I put on my vision board mentally, physically, actually seeing it out there. I would love to have a conversation with one day. But he asked this question, and it's this: if somebody could actually turn down the volume on what you're saying and just watch you record your actions, what would they see? Because the wins that we think are the big wins, right? The wins that you look at somebody and you think, oh, I kind of want to be able to do that. I've gotten a lot of messages, I love you, but I've gotten lots of messages about people saying like, oh my God, 1,000 episodes, that's incredible. And it is. It is. It's a huge win. I'm grateful for it. And I'm always going to be real with you in the sense that there's the wins along the way, the wins where I wanted to quit, the wins where I was like talking to myself here, the wins where I did quit for a while. I think of all of those times, and that's what this podcast episode actually made me sit down and think. And it's something that I wanted to share here with you. Because what if your biggest wins in your life are ones that no one sees? Like no one sees, no one's applauding, no one's saying great job because no one knows you did it. No one has a clue what you're doing, no one's watching. It's almost like this silent movie that's happening. And are you doing the daily things? Like, what are those things that you are skipping past and not recognizing yourself? Because we get celebrated for like the public win, the thing that happens, the bigger thing that happens, but that win is based on hundreds, if not thousands, of micro decisions, private decisions, choices made on your own, choices when you wake up and you're like, I don't feel like doing anything today, and we keep going. That is where it starts. The times when no one is watching. I made the comment that last summer, I hit a pretty low point in my own personal life. Here I was with, the business was growing. We were doing things, like lots of incredible things were happening. And we were walking through a really difficult personal time. Like I was just like, I don't know how to show up right now. And I was being really hard on myself because I had all these plans of what was going to unfold. I was like ready to write my second book. I was ready to do these things. We were publishing books. I had clients coming through. I was building a manual. I was doing a lot of things. And I had visions for more. Hello, that is my brain. And hit a point where it was like, I can't do it anymore right now. And that made me feel like I had to quit. I didn't have to quit. It took a couple mentors to sit me down and say, like, what if right now you listen to yourself, you give yourself what you need, and you serve the clients in your current roster? What would that look like? And I was like, okay, that's doable. I can do that. And then I remember hearing the story come to the surface of, but is that enough? Like, is that enough? Like, what happens? And if I do that, and then like later, I'm not able to grow the business because I was going slow over here. Like that is almost absolute craziness where my mind is trying to keep pushing. I just couldn't do it. I literally couldn't do it. It was a traumatic time. And so, if I really listened to this message, this is what was landing for me today. I was like, wow, there were wins last year where I chose differently. I listened to myself. I gave back to what I needed. And that, like, those are massive wins. And I skipped right over them. I wouldn't quit, but I certainly came closer than I feel like I had in a long time. And that's because the internal pressure that I was creating and doing to myself was coming from me. And that had to change. So there were a lot of wins. Yes, you might have seen at the end of the year, when people do their recap of the year, and I'm talking about my business and how much it grew and all the things that happened. And I'm grateful for all of that. And I really took a minute to stop and honor those steps, those baby steps all summer long when I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. That's human. It's normal. See, when you're running a business, like this is my business. I don't have a job to fall back on. When you're running a business and you have bills piling up, you have things going wrong, you have family issues, you have health issues, you have clients not paying, you have like really difficult situations, and you still have to show up. Those times aren't about doing more. They are about listening and honoring what you need, because when you push through, like staying up all night and trying to push through to finish something, you will pay for that for days, if not weeks. Like those are baby steps, but they're so incredibly important. And that's the piece that I want to really hammer in on, because there are times like every day throughout the day, I'm like the version of me who has what I say that I already want. What is she doing? She's already put her shoes on. She's getting her steps in. She's doing her workout. She is taking care of herself. She's prioritizing sleep. She's shutting it down and going to bed. She's telling herself it's enough every single day. This is like, it's so important because you're doing this while like doubt is increasing, fear is there, like uncertainty is there. So, what matters is I know you're feeling all of those feelings. And what are you doing to support yourself? What choice can you make today in order to move you forward? Okay. What choice could you make? One of my mentors pulled up my astrology. You can laugh, insert laugh here. She pulled up my astrology and she's like, Marsha, this is a time and a half for you. You are in a building phase. If you were in a building phase, how would you take care of yourself? And I was like, oh, I would listen. So all of a sudden it was like a permission piece. What tiny brick can I lay today? How can I support myself? Those bricks, honestly, they stack up so much more. We tend to focus on, the big launch. What was the revenue? What was the milestone? The 1,000th episode. I'm being real with you. The win is actually turning the mic on, recording on Zoom when no one's here, recording when your energy maybe is 50%, recording and following up when you have an issue with a client, when you have a client who's not paying, the email that you don't feel like sending or addressing, going to bed instead of spiraling, choosing not to burn it down, and staying true to your bigger picture. Those I like to call almost kind of invisible bridges. They're stepping stones. They're tiny, tiny ones that you don't see. So I want you to, if you have had a moment of looking at someone else and think, "God, I wish I could do that. How did she do that?" I'm just using my example as the podcast. It's been 9 years and more times that I wanted to quit than what I could ever count. And more times of talking to myself and continuing to move forward. More steps, more stepping stones than I could ever count. And that is where we build our identity, is in the repetition. Yes, we get to check in and see if it's working, how it's serving us. But let's not skip past this step, the repetition of doing the reps, the skills, the learning, the trying, the doing it again when maybe you don't feel like it, but it is requiring that in order to change the identity. This is the identity that you are becoming. That's what identity work is. And if you don't know if you are doing the steps that you need to do in order to be that version of yourself, that identity, I'll take it back to the beginning. If you turn down the volume, if you have no ability to speak, nobody can hear you of what you're doing. You can't justify, explain anything. You have no voice. If somebody were watching a recording of you all day long, what would they see? What would you see? More importantly, what would you see? Would you notice? Do you show up? Do you send the email? Do you follow up with the client? Do you write the page? Do you publish the podcast? Do you make a call? Do you pour into yourself? Do you prioritize sleep? What do you do when no one is watching? Because those baby steps are the wins that no one else can see. No one sees them. And I want you to pull the attention to seeing them every single day. I tell some of my clients, honestly, I think gratitudes are important. I'm not saying that they're not, but I do believe it is more important, especially when you don't see the value that you have to give and you don't see the value in yourself. It is more important to actually stop and see your wins every single day. Honestly, draw your attention to it. Your subconscious mind follows you. See your wins every single day. The days that you didn't feel like doing it, the days you didn't feel inspired, the days you questioned yourself, the doubt was there, that you did it anyways. Because you deserve to give yourself credit. You really do. And that's how you build the resilience and celebrate yourself. And you build it and you see that you are building the identity to become the version of you who can hold it. I promise you, the wins that you desire in someone else, in what you believe is the end result that someone else has, it came from hundreds and thousands of steps and wins that you didn't see. I promise you, you just didn't see them. The public win, it's there, right? It's evidence. But the private win, that's the transformation. Those baby steps that nobody sees, that's where the growth is. So even if no one sees your wins, that's okay. I need you to know that's okay. And it's okay if no one is celebrating you. I am asking if you are celebrating you. Because if you are celebrating you, you are bringing your attention, your awareness, your subconscious mind back to what you are doing, what you are completing. You are one decision. I have said this for years. You are one decision, one choice, one rep, one thought from a different life. There comes a point where you're at the fork in the road and you recognize that I've spent my entire life going this way. And what I want is literally 2 degrees to the other way. It is one different decision. And those different decisions, those are wins. Those are massive, massive wins. And I encourage you to go back and celebrate them for yourself because you are building evidence. You are stacking your wins so that you can see you've got it in you. I promise you, you do. I promise you, you do. I hope this message lands. I got really fired up when I heard it and I knew I wanted to share it. And again, if there are tickets left and you want to attend the 1000th episode, please reach out. The link is in the show notes, but please reach out. Either way, if you have been here, if this show has supported you and you listen, you tune in, I appreciate you so, so, so much. So much. Have an incredible day. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Own Your Choices, Own Your Life. If you love this episode, I invite you to tag me on social media with your takeaways or share it with a friend. Please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review and I will be forever grateful. Until next time, remember, when you own your choices, you truly own your life.